Wysteria, energy, twister.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to the Encyclopedia of Fairies. So we are now on T, and straight away we get in with Tam Lin. I did a story about Tam Lin, if you remember it. You may have forgotten it by now, but it's on my channel, it is there. One of the most significant Scottish ballads from fairy lore perspective is undoubtedly Tam Lin, which can be found under variant names and versions dating back to 1549. As eminent folklorist Catherine Briggs puts it, it is perhaps the most important of all supernatural ballads because of the many fairy beliefs incorporated in it. An indication of the importance of the ballad may be its popularity over the centuries and its prolific nature. Indeed, there are nearly 50 versions of the ballad that you can come across. Probably more actually if you really looked, but I'm only aware of 50. Each with variations which can be minor or major in nature. However, the wider theme of the ballad remains consistent. A young woman goes to a well in a wood, is rumoured to be guarded by a fairy who takes a toll from all trespassers. She becomes pregnant by him and returns to free him from the fairies on Halloween night. So let's give this a go at reading it, shall we, guys? Oh, I forbid you, maidens all, that wear gold on your hair, to come and go by Carter-Howe, for young Tam Lin is there. There's none that go by Carter-Howe, but they leave him a treasure, either their rings, or green mantles, or else their maidenhead. Janet has tucked up her green skirt a little above the knee, and she has braided her yellow hair a little above her eyebrow, and she's away to Carter-Howe as fast as she can go. When she come to Carter-Howe, Tam Lin was at the well, and there she found his standing, but away was himself. She had not pulled a double rose, a rose but only two, till up then startled young Tam Lin. Says, Lady, you'll pull no more. Why pull you the rose, Janet? Why break you the stem? Or why come you to Carter-Howe without my command? Carter-Howe, it is my own. My daddy gave it to me. I'll come and buy Carter-Howe and ask no leave of you. Janet has tucked up a green skirt a little above the knee, and she's braided her yellow hair a little above her eyebrow. And she is to her father's house as fast as she can go. 24 ladies fair were playing at the ball, and out then came the fair Janet, the flower among them all. 24 ladies fair were playing at the chess, and out then came fair Janet, as green as any glass. Out then spoke an old grey knight, laying over the castle wall, and says, Alas, fair Janet, for you, but will be blamed all. Hold your tongue, you old-faced knight, some ill death may you die. Father my child, on whom I will, I'll father none on you. Out then spoke her father dear, and he spoke meek and mild, and ever alas, sweet Janet, he says, I think you go with child. If that I go with child, father, myself must bear the blame. There's not a lord about your hall shall get the child's name. If my love were an earthly knight, as he's an elfin grey, I would not give my own true love for any lord that you have. The steed that my true love rides on is lighter than the wind, with silver he is shod before, with burning gold behind. Janet has tucked up her green skirt a little above her knees, and she has braided her yellow hair a little above her eyebrows, and she is away to Carter-Howe as fast as she can go. And when she came to Carter-Howe, Tam Lin was at the well, and there she found his steed standing, But away was himself. She had not pulled a double rose, a rose but only two, till up then started young Tam Lin. Says lady, you'll pull no more. Why pull you the rose, Janet, among the groves so green, and all to kill the bonny babe that we got us between? Oh, tell me, Tam Lin, she says, for his sake that died on tree, if ever you were in holy chapel or Christendom did see. Roxburgh, he was my grandfather, took me with him to stay, and once it fell upon a day that woe did me betide, and once it fell upon a day, a cold day and windy, when we were from the hunting come, that from my horse I fell. The Queen of Faries, she caught me in yonder green hill to dwell, and pleasant is the fairy land, but an eerie tale to tell. Yes, at the end of 7 years we pay attend to hell. I'm so fair and full of flesh, I'm afraid it will be myself. But the night is Halloween, lady, the morn is Hallow day. Then win me if you will, for well I know you may. Just at the dark and midnight hour, the fairy folk will ride, and they that would their true love win, at Miles Cross they must bide. But how shall I know you, Tam Lin? Or how my true love know, among so many uncouth knights, the like I never saw? Oh, first let pass the black lady, and soon let pass the brown. But quickly run to the milk-white steed, pull you his rider down. For I'll ride on the milk-white steed, and yes, near is the town, because I was an earthly knight, they gave me that renown. My right hand will be gloved, lady, my left hand will be bare, tilted up shall be my hat, and combed down shall be my hair, and that's the tokens I give you, no doubt I will be there. They'll turn me into your arms, lady, into a lizard and snake, but hold me fast. Fear me not, I am your child's father. They'll turn me to a bear so grim, and then a lion bold, but hold me fast and fear me not, and you shall love your child. Again they'll turn me into your arms, to a red-hot rod of iron, but hold me fast and fear me not, I'll do you no harm. And last they'll turn me in your arms into the burning coal, then throw me into the well water, or throw me in with speed, and then I'll be your own true love, I'll turn a naked knight, then cover me with your green mantle, and hide me out of sight. Gloomy, gloomy was the night, and eerie was the way, as fair Janet in her green mantle to Miles Cross she did go. At the dark and midnight hour she heard the bridal sing. She was as glad as that, as any earthly thing. First she let the black pass by, and soon she let the brown, but quickly she ran to the milk-white steed, and simply pulled the rider down. So well she minded what he say, and young Tam Lin did win, soon covered him with her green mantle, as happy as bird in spring. Out then spoke the Queen of Fairies, out of bush and broom, them that has gotten young Tam Lin has gotten a stately groom. Out then spoke the Queen of Fairies, and an angry woman was she. Shame betide her ill-fared face, and an ill death may she die, for she's taken away the handsomest knight in all my company. But had I known, Tam Lin, she said, what now this night I see, I would have taken out your two grey eyes, and put in two eyes of a tree. And that is the ballad of Tam Lin. It's a very interesting story indeed, and I'd love to hear your opinion of it, because I know many people have a different opinion regarding it. And there's another version as well, actually, But it goes like this, the other version. The Queen of Fairies kept me in yonder green hill to dwell, and I'm a fairy leaf and a limb. Fair lady, view me well. Leaf means joint and limb, by the way. But we that live in fairyland know sickness, know no pain. I quit my body when I will, and take to it again. I quit my body when I please, or unto it repair. We can inhabit at our ease in either earth or air. Our shapes and size we can convert to either large or small, and all nutshells the same to us as in the lofty hall. We sleep in rosebuds soft and sweet, we revel in the stream, we wander lightly on the wind or glide on a sunbeam, and all over wants are well supplied from every rich man's store, who thankless sins the gifts he gets, and vainly grasps for more. But that's a completely different one, so that part's in a different one. And there's, like I said, there's so many different versions of Tam Lin. There's a lot of them out there, so it's hard to state which one you prefer more or whatever, but if you research the Ballad of Tam Lin, you will absolutely find many different ones. So next we're on Thomas the Rhymer. Another of the most important ballad pieces relating to fairy lore is Thomas the Rhymer, based on the earlier prose piece, The Romance and Prophecies of Thomas of Ercildoune. In its prose, for the story goes back to the 15th century, with the ballad dating slightly later. If he were a real person, and some speculation exists that he may have been, he likely lived during the late 13th century. In all versions, it tells the story of a man named Thomas who meets the Queen of Fairy and travels with her to her realm, serves her there in some capacity, and then is returned to the human world with a parting gift from the Queen. So, again, this is another ballad, and it's fairly long, but I'm going to repeat it the best I can. A wonder he spied with his eye, and there he saw a lady bright, come riding down by Eldon tree. Her skirt was of the grass-green silk, her mantle of velvet fine. At each tuft of her horse's mane hang 50 silver bells and 9. True Thomas he pulled off his cap, and bowed low down his knee. All hail your mighty Queen of heaven, for your peer on earth I never did see. Oh no, Thomas, she said, that name does not belong to me. I am but the Queen of fair Elfland, that am hither come to visit me. Harp and sing, Thomas, she said, harp and sing along with me, and if you dare to kiss my lips, sure of your body I be. Fare me well, fare me woe, that fate will never daunt me. Soon he has kissed her rosy lips, all underneath the Eldon tree. Now you must go with, she said, true Thomas, you must go with me, and you must serve me 7 years, through good or bad, as may chance to be. She mounted on her milk-white steed, she's taken true Thomas up behind, and yes, whenever the bridle rung, the steed flew swifter than the wind. Oh, they rode on, and further on, the steed went swifter than the wind, until they reached a desert wide, and living land was left behind. Light down, now, true Thomas, lean your head upon my knee. Abide and rest a little space, and I will show you wonders 3. Oh, see you not that narrow road, so thick beset with thorns and briars? That is the path of righteousness, though after it but few enquires. And see not you that broad road that lies across the lily meadow? That is the path to wickedness, though some call it the road to heaven. And see not you that bonny road that winds about the fermy hillside? That is the road of fair Elfland, where you and I this night must go. But, Thomas, you must hold your tongue, whatever you may hear or see, for if you speak word in elfin land, you'll never get back to your own country. Oh, they rode on and further on, and they waded through rivers above the knee, and they saw neither sun nor moon, but they heard the roaring of the sea. It was dark, dark night, and there was no starlight, and they waded through red blood to the knee. For all the blood that's shed on earth runs through the springs of that country. Soon they came onto a garden green, and she pulled an apple from a tree. Take this for your wages. True, Thomas, it will give the tongue that can never lie. My tongue is mine own, True Thomas said, a good gift you would give to me. I neither able to buy nor sell, at fair or trust where I may be. I'd be neither to speak to prince or peer, nor ask of grace from fair lady. Now hold your peace, the lady said, for as I say so must it be. He has gotten a coat of even cloth, and a pair of shoes velvet green, and still 7 years were gone and past, True Thomas on earth was never seen. And that's a child's version from 1898. So it's from a very long time ago, and again, it's just another ballad, and there are actually many, many out there. So, yeah, there's lots of them out there, different ones and stuff. So, the next is Titam. Titan is also called Titem, Titarit, Titan, Titan, and Titar, and even Sitan. Just depends. Can even be called Shikam as well. The Book of Oberon suggests that Titan may be connected to or a variant name for Shakespeare's fairy queen Titania, although Briggs argues that Titania is a variant of Diana instead. Because of the obscure nature of the material and the non-standard spelling between sources, it is difficult to favour either theory, although it may be that both have some truth with them. Titan is often invoked with Micol and Birfex in the Grimoire material. So generally, they are basically summoned together. Teeth to Hell. In Scottish folklore, there's a belief which says that the good folk must pay a teeth to hell. This idea appears first in writing in 2 poems, and seems from there to enter wider lore, particularly in the modern period. The Teend is an interesting folkloric belief because it is not found in Ireland, nor was the belief throughout Scotland until much later period. Originally, being only seen in the southern border. So is it real or is it not? Who knows? And if they do have to pay, then what do they have to pay and why? You know, there's a lot of speculation around these types of things. And I think that's why people like them, because obviously they are very, very different, and I think people like that. Trowse is next. A term found in the Shetland and Orkney Islands of Scotland. It's likely imported to there from Norse areas during occupation periods, possibly a variant of the word trolls. Chow is considered roughly synonymous to other Scottish terms for fairies, including the Seaheen. So it's basically like another word for trolls, but yeah. Next is the Tuatha De Danann, one of the groups of beings. Yes, they are. They invaded Ireland. They're often described as the old gods of the land. The Tuatha De Danann ruled over the land until being driven into the Seahee by Milesians. The Tuatha De Danann are closely tied to the Faries in Ireland, and many of their members became kings and queens of fairy in later folklore. Tylwyth Teg is one of the. This is one of the main groupings of fairies in Wales. Tylwyth Teg, fair family. And this term maybe a name for Welsh fairies, more generally another euphemistic name as well, we may see that it might be. They were generally considered benevolent and kind beings, as many sources described. They've been described as like good, although, like any other fairy, they can cause mischief. Of course they can. They are fairies. They can cause harm if motivated to. There's a 20th century Welsh poem that summarises the general opinion of the Till of Teg. In most of the tales I heard repeated when I was a boy, I am quite certain the implication was that the Till of Teg were a kind of spirit race, having human characteristics who could at will suddenly appear and suddenly disappear. They were generally supposed to live underground, and to come forth on moonlight nights, dressed in gaudy colours, chiefly in red, to dance in circles in grassy fields. I think the Till of Teg were generally looked upon as kind and good-natured people, though revengeful if not treated well. From 1911, that writing's from. And, you know, we could go into a lot where the Till of Teg's incorporated, because there's a lot of mystery around them, and they're just basically a type of fairy, but it's a Wales type of fairy. You know, you've got Tir and Nog, which is another fairy place, and then you've got the Till of Teg, and then that's, again, it's like, they kind of are the same if you research them. They do sort of blend in. It can make it difficult, but at the same time, there's aspects that lead them into being separate. But the Till of Teg are generally known as being okay. As long as you don't wrong them, they will not sort of unwrong you, let's say, or they'll not be mischievous towards you and stuff like that. So that is the teas in our fairies. It's most of them anyway. I'm not going to do them all, like I said, because there's so many to do. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the like, share if you can, and consider subscribing. Many blessings.
Wysteria, energy, twister.